Conversation with Jocks, where we give you positive perspectives on our daily encounters.
Real talk.
Yeah, this Jay.
Big O in the house.
Yo, this is C. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Conversations with Jock, the podcast that focuses on self-improvement. I'm your host, C, and of course we have J and O here. We have a good episode today. We're going to talk about 10 dimensions of remarkable manhood. But before we get into it, what's going on with you guys?
Living the dream.
Doing great out here in Vegas.
We in Vegas? I'm not in Vegas. What's that guy talking about?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I know it's Dio.
Oh, he got one of those virtual reality glasses on. Okay.
That must be it.
Yeah, you take that off.
Okay, yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, I thought I saw the Mandalay Bay. What? I didn't see that.
Okay. Like I said, we have a wonderful episode today. Before we get into the episode, as always, we have our cheat code.
Our cheat code for the day. Wake up at noon. You only have to pay for 2 meals for the rest of the day. And that's how you save money. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Okay. Eat 2 times a day. Save some money. You have to spend money on breakfast. Okay. So let's get right into it. So 10 dimensions of remarkable manhood. So can you break that down to us?
Well, basically, there are 10 things that we must practice. But, you're just an adult male until you can manage your life in these 10 areas.
Okay, you say adult male. What does that mean?
Yes, an adult male is a man over the age of 18. But just because you have reached adulthood, that doesn't mean that you have learned the principles of taking responsibility for your life in order to do your God-given responsibility of leading both men, women, and children, unless you're practicing some specific things in your life.
So this is like a guidebook to help transition a boy into becoming a man.
Absolutely.
Okay, I can see that.
We could call them man boys.
Man boys, I see. So let's get into it. So what's number 1?
Step number 1, you definitely need to have direction in your life in the form of a purpose or profession.
So how can we get this guidance? What should a boy trying to become a man look for to get this guidance?
Well, the first thing you should start with is whatever talents you have.
Okay.
Whatever talents you have that you want to cultivate it, that you want to leave a legacy on this earth, you want to make an impact in your community, you would start with a talent, a purpose, or a profession.
So I hear that. And can we also add, what's the word I'm looking for? The company you keep? Have some good brothers around you? Good friends around you?
Yes, I definitely think that is one of the steps. But we're talking about right now your individual direction that you have in your life. Where are you going in life? What are you doing on that journey?
So it's like your goals, what's your purpose here, and things on how you're trying to accomplish certain things. So you have to have something that you're driving towards.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what's number 2?
Number 2, you have to manage your health. And we're not just talking about, we're talking about mental health, physical health, spiritual and nutritional health. You have to be able to, once we have some direction of things we want to do in life, we have to do it with moderation. We don't want to run ourselves in the ground. We only have this one body, and we have to take care of it. You have to manage it. We have to be in good health and enjoying this gift of being alive.
I'm glad you brought up health, especially on the mental health part. That's kind of something that needs to be brought more to light. I hear a few people talking about a few rumblings, but a man's mental health, that needs to be brought to the forefront a little more, because we do go through things, and just being able to find that outlet, or that brother or brothers that you can talk to about things, so we definitely need more awareness when it comes to a man's mental health.
Absolutely. I think a lot of times we're told to suck it up and drive on, and a lot of times we do. But it's really important that we do have an outlet to communicate things that is putting stressors on us. It's extremely important to be in the best mental health and communicate the things. Keep your emotional filter clean. We change that out. The air filters in our automobiles, we have to keep our emotional filter clean.
That makes sense. Another thing that you guys talked about health, and I think what's important is getting quality sleep. I remember being younger, from a boy transitioning to a man. You try to take on a lot in a day. You try to handle business. You try to take care of things that provide leisure or luxury, and you try to fit in all in one day. So whether you work hard, you come home, you trying to maybe watch a movie, play games, and stay up late, and end up going to bed probably odd hours in the morning, 1 o'clock, getting 4 hours, 5 hours sleep, and doing this on a consistent basis, which is detrimental to your health.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you mentioned health, mental, physical well-being as part of number two. So let's transition to number three.
Number three, education. Continue to learn and to self-discover. Now, when I say education, I don't necessarily mean college education, even though that is great. There's a lot of professions that require a specific college degree, but I'm not necessarily saying it's limited to a college degree, because some people don't go to college. But whether or not you go to college, you should continuously strive to learn, to educate, and to self-discover, learn more about the world around you and about yourself.
Good point, because I was just about to say that college is not for everyone. Some people just want to get straight to it out of high school, and
I think to go back on what I was saying as far as education, and we can self-teach or self-improve. I think one of a good tool to do this would be books and reading. And if you can't read, I think audiobooks will be very beneficial, especially on your ride to work. You can listen to self-improvement books, or listen to books that can help you where your weaknesses are.
Absolutely. And if you don't know how to read, you can listen to an audiobook that teaches you how to read. But we want to improve. We want to improve all the areas of our lives.
hey, look, I know how to read, but them audiobooks is right up my alley, because it's just something about opening and flipping them pages, man. Sometimes you just don't really have the time to do it. And just like you said, turn it on in the car on the way to work. You listening to the self-improvement, listening to this podcast, Conversations with JOC. Okay.
Okay, that's it.
Stuff like that. So, it's always avenues where you can improve on, learning and self-discovery.
And I get through a lot of Audible books because I put it on like 1.5 or 2.0 speed, and I get through plenty of books, and I learn a lot from them. And I feel that's beneficial for me. But everyone, has their own way of doing things.
Oh yeah, definitely. So in reality, there is no excuse. There is no excuse.
Okay. So we said number 3 is education. So what's number 4?
Number 4, time management. We have to be able to manage our time. And there is an awesome book from the late Stephen R. Covey, The 7 Habits of Effective People, where he talks about the 4 quadrants of time. So I recommend that book. But, when we talk about time management, there are basically 5 or 6 different ways we can spend our time. I'll list all of them, and then we can, break it down and go back into it.
Okay.
So the first thing, you can waste your own time. Or number 2, you can allow someone else to waste it. Number 3, you can spend your time learning how to build towards your goal, build towards your purpose, build towards your profession. Not just learning, but actually building towards it. So the time to learn to build it, and then the time to actually build. And the last way you can spend your time is recharging yourself in order to get back to learning or building, i.e. taking a vacation. So it's important to spend some time to recharge your batteries so you can get back to either learning, to build yourself or build towards your purpose or profession, or actually building, or you can waste your time or allow someone else to waste it.
Yeah, that time wasting thing, that's big. That's big because, you only have a certain amount of hours in a day. You know what I mean? When you set that alarm for 5 o'clock, but then you want to hit the snooze button. Man, you set it for 5, you get up at 5 rather than hitting the snooze, because while you hitting the snooze, it's somebody else out there getting up at 4:30, 4:45, taking your spot.
Absolutely. I know another time waster for me is sometimes I'm on these social medias. They're just draining my time.
Oh yeah.
I'm scrolling up and down, and before you know it, hours have passed by. In that instance, I would be just wasting my own time instead of investing, in my purpose or my profession, or even just educating myself to be better. So yeah, we have to watch that social media time. It can just drain you.
Out of all the things that you listed for time wasters, the one that stuck out to me the most is where you said that allowing someone else to waste it. I'm sure we all come to situations, whether at work or whether we're trying to get something done, and someone is wasting our time.
Nah, I tell them, get out my face.
or they may present their problem and try to discuss it with you and ask you to fix it, or your opinion, or they talk about certain things that they don't like and certain things that they like, and your mind is like, I really don't care, and this is occupying your time. So sometimes for me, I come off non-approachable, especially at work, because I need to focus on work so I can get out of there and work on building myself up. I don't know, how do you guys handle those situations?
No, that's a great point, and there's several different ways that you got to do it. Sometimes you just got to keep stepping. You got to keep walking. I know even socially, people may just like your company, but the time spent with certain people, it's not doing nothing. It's not doing anything for you. It's just wasting your time, and so we can't sit there and let people, men or women, just eat up your time, and that takes time away from you to building where you should be. And so it's your responsibility, however you need to get away or to communicate or say, you know what, this is not the best time for me. You have to find a way to manage your time.
I just told my son the other day, shout out to the young OG, Julian. I just told him the other day, when, he's in high school, when you see your homeboys stopping in the hallway and they want to talk to you, I told him, I said, hey, look, you keep on moving to class, man. If they want to talk to you, let them follow you. You know what I mean? Don't let them hold you up and stop your progress. So,
Absolutely.
You hit on a lot of good points with your list 1 through 4, and I'm eager to hear what 5 is.
Number 5, money management.
Oh, okay.
Money management. If you can't manage your money, you're just an adult male.
oh, that's so disrespectful.
Okay.
Yeah, no money, no problems. but yes, I mentioned that as a man, and you're doing your purpose, you're living your life. Ultimately, there would be, of course, girlfriends, wives, children, all of them will look to you. And if you can't manage your money, there's just so many problems that come from that.
Right, and if you can't manage your money, go back to number 3 on what you just stated about education. Educate yourself. Find a way. I'm sure there's a book.
Yes. Money management for dummies.
Yes, definitely.
Take
the opportunity.
That sounds so disrespectful, y'all. So disrespectful.
This is the name of the books, but yes, this is the name of the books. And also, when we talk about money management, we also talk about credit as well. Understanding credit is very, very powerful. Check out our podcast on the poor man's mindset.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Refer to episode number 1. So what's number 6?
Number 6. Oh, this is a real serious one.
Oh.
Exiting your comfort zone.
Exit your comfort zone.
Yes. If you cannot exit your comfort zone, you're not really going anywhere.
You mean like not getting out of bed? Or
that's perfect. That's excellent, because Jay mentioned earlier that early in the morning, if you're not doing it, someone else is out there getting on their grind and taking their spot. But you're so comfortable and you snuggle up in your blanket and you don't want to get up to work on your health, your exercising, reading, learning. If you can't get out your comfort zone, you're really not going anywhere.
And sometimes it's even being comfortable with this job,
Yes.
Comfortable with this, comfortable with mediocrity.
Speak on it.
To me, I have this saying, I'm always comfortable with being uncomfortable.
okay.
So as long as I'm uncomfortable, that means I'm always shifting and moving, trying to get things done.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm never just, oh yeah, I made it.
Microphone drop.
Yeah. So, that's what it is. Listen, this one right here, this is serious, man, because that comfort zone, it destroys people, man.
Yes.
It destroys you. And I mean, you comfortable in this whack relationship that you in.
That's true.
I mean, it doesn't stop there, man. It's just a lot of things that you being comfortable with is not really good for you. And that's an excellent one right there, where you saying, oh, get out your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
Okay. No, but yeah, I think that's a very serious one. So let's go on to number 7.
Number 7, self-control, self-management. Get rid of bad habits. So self-control is so important. When we go down the list, we were designed to be leaders of families, leaders of communities. But before you can lead anyone, you have to be able to lead yourself. You have to be able to manage yourself. Self-control, self-discipline. There are certain habits. We talked about the importance of health and being in good health, but guess what? We have a habit, an unhealthy habit that's killing us. We have to overcome these habits, gain self-control, gain self-discipline, because self-discipline is just one of those keys that would help us to succeed.
It's a good point. I see a lot of times we take initiative for change, and maybe that first week or so we may try to change our habits. But when we don't see a change or we become comfortable with our old habits, we kind of revert and do things that are not beneficial to us.
Exactly.
So I can see your point on that.
Yeah, speaking on that self-control, I think that kind of starts at a young age, really. It's something that I heard the other day where undisciplined boys grow up to be undisciplined men. And when you are an undisciplined man, you basically really don't have no future until you get yourself under control.
That's right.
So, that's another one right there. That comfort zone and self-control. Those are, and that time wasting. Yeah, them three right there is really sticking out to me.
Yep. Okay. Let's ease right into number 8.
Number 8, manage your associations. Who has access to you?
Whoever you let.
Exactly. We talked about time wasters, but if we can identify people who are just time wasting people, we can't allow them to have access to us, to call us every 10 minutes, to come by every 10 minutes, or people that doesn't have a mindset to improve or to be better. They have a woe is me mindset. They have the victim mindset. These types of associations will do nothing but bring us down.
So in that sense, do I just block people's number?
Block, like the Kembe Mutombo.
They can't see me, but I'm doing the finger wag right now.
So I never really thought about it. There are a lot of people who have access to me, and a lot of them really don't deserve that access. And you try to be polite, you try to respond to text messages, emails, or even phone calls. And like we said earlier about wasting time, a lot of it to me is a big waste of my time, because it has no relevance to my self-improvement, or like you said, transitioning from boy to a man.
Exactly. And there are a lot of people who, know us. There's associates, there's friends, there's family, there are people who know us. And, as we are on this journey of self-improvement, there are some people who just won't see us in our new selves. They will only see us in the past or where we came from. And those are also associations that you have to limit. You have to limit those associations.
So in a sense, because a lot of times, maybe let's say a phone conversation and you want to engage, but in the forefront of your mind, I guess you have to think, I can only limit this conversation to 5 minutes. Let me get to the key points of this conversation or the reason why they called. And once I get it in my mind, there's no need for the conversation, and that's the end.
Right, that's true. And I think what you're saying, it sounds like someone that you have value, you see value in them and they see value in you, and they might waste some time. So you would get to the point, you would, manage the discussion. But I'm talking about people who aren't invested in you, and you hear them say stuff like, hey, give me a call. Let's talk. Let's hang out.
I see what you're saying.
So these things exist, and these people have no investment in your future betterment. It's all about, what they say, the crabs in a barrel, always holding each other down.
Okay, that's a good one.
So to be aware of negative associations and just limit them, and strive to associate yourself with like-minded people who is striving to build and to grow.
I guess we're getting towards the end of the list. What's number 9?
Number 9 is leadership. So we touched a little bit on self-control and self-mastery. And now that you have some self-control and some self-mastery, you can lead others. Are you a good leader? Are you afraid of making decisions? Do you take into account the people that you're leading? Do you listen? Do you give direction, or do you just manage? Being a good leader.
So I guess we have to look more towards what makes someone a good leader. Like going through the military or any other position of leadership. A lot of people say to become a good leader, first you have to be a good follower.
That's right. And sometimes that's true. Being a good follower does a lot of times make good leaders. Also, leading by example and not just giving directives. And you haven't won the hearts of the people that you're trying to lead. It's very important that you win the hearts and actually, find books on leadership, but especially for a man, and to be, put in the leadership position, we should know how to lead or to improve our leadership skills.
Yeah, I think setting a good example helps with morale, because if you're a leader and you expect this from the people who are following, and you're not in a position or you're not showing that a good example, it's hard for me to follow. I remember a long time ago, I went to an ab workout class, and the person giving the ab workout, let's just say they were obese and they didn't have the product that you were searching for. So it's kind of hard or difficult to follow their routine, because if in my mind, if I'm following their routine, this is what I'm going to get. Right. So I think showing a good example is very important when you're becoming a good leader.
Yeah, some people are just natural leaders too, And honestly, I consider myself a natural leader. Even in a lot of the jobs that I've been in, I'm just a regular worker, like everybody else. But when things happen, my coworkers would come to me.
I see.
You know what I mean? And
you lead them to the promised land.
I mean, all day long. But it do get annoying sometimes. It do. I can't even lie to you. It do get annoying sometimes. Well, back then, when I was actually, doing that kind of things. But
But it comes with the territory. So I definitely agree with that. Also, to piggyback on what C was saying, that there are a lot of people who try to lead in areas where they just don't have the proof of the pudding, and so that's why leadership came in at number 9, because the 1 through 8 is really how you focus on yourself and you get some momentum with yourself, so that you're not like that the ab instructor, that you are walking compromise. So invest 1 through 8, and then when you get some momentum, now you're prepared to do some leadership.
Makes sense. Okay, so we're going to end with number 10.
Number 10, you have to have some game. You have to be able to manage your skills with women.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yes, we have to. The Bible says to deal according with them with knowledge. We just have to do our best to understand women, take initiative. There's nothing that's more nauseating to a woman than a man that does not know how to navigate with them.
That is very important, because I would say I see a lot of boys trying to manage a situation or relationship, and they are failing miserably.
Exactly. There's just a lot of adult males in their latter years of life. But when you hear how females are describing them, it really puts us to shame. And there's just so many men out there that I think they can benefit from this podcast just to improve in their life and improve their game.
Yeah, y'all man boys, stop it. But also, hold up. We talking about managing, your skills and all that with the ladies and everything like that. Also, fellas, don't be letting these ladies waste your time either. Don't forget, we just talked about time management.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So don't be letting them waste your time either.
And I think that if you master, let's say all 1 through 9, you set a good example for the women that's in your life. And because of that, I think the situation of managing your relationship will become easier, especially if you're going back to number 3 of education and you self-improving.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you master 1 through 9 is what we're saying, that 10 should be easy. 10 should come easy.
Yeah, because I think at that point, the women in your life will have respect for you. And they are more prone to follow because you're setting a good example of what a man should be.
Exactly. Yeah. You take an initiative, you showing that your life is about direction, and all of these things are very appealing to women.
Wow.
Yeah, you found your purpose. You healthy, educated. You know how to manage money. You got self-control. You a leader.
Managing your time.
You managing your time. I mean, you can't lose.
We've covered a wide range of topics today, including the 10 essential factors for personal growth and success. Remember, number 1 is the desire to have a purpose. Finding your passion and aligning your actions with your values. We've also discussed the importance of managing your health, time, education, and finances, as well as the significance of stepping out of your comfort zone, practicing self-control, and surrounding yourself with the right people. Leadership and skill management, particularly in relationships, were also key points of our conversation. And that wraps up another thought-provoking episode of Conversations with Jock. If you want more engaging content and exclusive behind-the-scenes moments, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Jock Talks. And for the complete episodes and thrilling bonus content, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jock Podcast. We appreciate your continued support and look forward to bringing you more inspiring conversations in the future. Stay curious, stay motivated, and keep striving for personal growth. Until next time.
JOC in the building.
Yo.